What's up, guys? So tonight I want to take a look at Bitcoin. Obviously, the coronavirus have really, pretty much spread around the globe now, and it's really starting to affect the financial markets, the traditional financial markets, and I think. From a fundamental analysis perspective, I think we will most likely not see a strong up move from Bitcoin until the financial markets have cooled down or calmed down or started to recover. The problem is it's not really looking like the coronavirus is slowing down. So I'm going to take a look. I'm just looking. I get some error here from YouTube for I don't know why. Yeah, it should be all good. So let's take a look at price action. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna link in Burp Nest chat quickly. All right, so let's take a look at the weekly first, as always. So as you can see here, we closed the weekly right above the ROC here. We came down and bounced right off the midpoint of the ROC, came up and tested the 55 EMA on the weekly here, this green line. As you can see, this green horizontal right here, and I've got it marked out as a green horizontal here. It's also confluent with 377 EMA, this bluish line here. So some nice confluence in that area. So this was obviously a bearish retest of the 55 EMA on the weekly after breaking into the downside, right? And when we got this move right here, I remember posting in the Nest Club that I was looking for a potential breakout and a retest of the 8K level. And let's move this one to 8 actually. So, and the 8K level is also confluent with the upper part of the ROC, the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. So the idea were to wait for a 4-hour open and close above the 8K level and then long a retest. So the setup would look something like this, right? We bounce off the ROC, move up out of the ROC, 4-hour open and close, and then long a retest for a move up to this level. Stop loss would be not sure, doesn't matter because the setup didn't really work out. Obviously I didn't take the setup because I was waiting for a 4-hour open and close above 8K. We never got a 4-hour open and close above, we only got a 4-hour close. What I'm trying to show you here is this is a obvious fake out of the 8K area on the 4-hour. So and combining the fact that we got rejected by the 55 EMA on the weekly, and we had a fake out on the 4-hour on the 8K area, is like, we're seeing like a double, I don't know if you could call it that, but double bearish confluence, I guess. So let's go into the 1-hour here, because I'm seeing a pretty we're developing a range here, right? So this was the high that took us to the low. So I'm thinking I want to draw a range here on the hourly. Let's see. I want to use that high here to I think I mean, I don't know, should I use this one, or I think I like that area more. Let's see, where does the EQ come up? Oh man, sorry guys, I gotta go do that one again. So I want to use that one. Let's see. What? All right, so that's the range high up there. This could probably be the range low. Let's see how it looks on the 4 hour. Actually, let's see. You know what? I kind of like this area too. So I'm liking this as a range because we got this. I'm liking the reaction here. We never really got a close below. We tapped range low here, and that tap right there took us to range high. We're seeing some good reaction to the range EQ here. So I'm kind of thinking this is a good range right now, because when drawing ranges, the first thing I do is I look for a swing high, I look for a swing low. If the swing high and swing low matches up with a decent midpoint, the EQ, basically the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement area, the middle of these two lines, obviously, so the middle of the range. If all these three levels lines up with price action, I'm gonna like it, right? So what I want to see is I want to see the first high and then the first low. If those level gets respected, I'm gonna keep watching that range. So this is pretty interesting right here. When we got the fake out on the 4 hour, basically a fake out is where one candle closes above and the second candle closes below, and below this area, right, the 8K. So that's a fake out. A lot of breakout traders got trapped on this one. And so this is obviously a bearish signal, right? And what do you want to do after a bearish signal? Well, you want to look for shorts, right? And the most obvious short would be like a bearish retest of the area that price showed a fake out on, right? And that's obviously range high. So what you wanted to do here was to, when you saw this powerful drop right here, you should have looked at the 8K area and you would have wanted to short that area for a move down to range low. And the fact that range low is so close to this midpoint of the RLC, the 0.702, yeah, I had to recheck, man. I haven't slept in feels like days, so I'm feeling pretty tired and stupid, to be honest. But yeah, so let's see if we can like, Bitcoin is obviously ranging. I don't like the fact that we got faked out of the RLC and we are now back inside the RLC. I mean, I'm still bearish, not on the long term, obviously, but as a trader, I mean, fundamentally, I'm super bullish on Bitcoin, right? But as a trader, I'm not really interested in looking further than, I guess, a month, right? Because I'm usually in my trades for days, a day or a couple of days, or maximum a week. I'm not in my positions very long. I want to get in and out quick, right? So as a trader, I'm just kind of looking at the medium time frame. But if you're gonna ask me, like, am I bullish on Bitcoin? Fuck yeah, I'm very bullish on the long term. Very bullish on the long term. But when the chart looks like this, I mean, all right. So looking at this chart from a long-term investment strategy perspective or whatever, we are right inside the RLC of this move, confluent with very strong horizontal support, right? So I'm thinking we might very well, God, I can't speak, very well, yeah, that's right, see a bounce here and a move up to the 21 EMA on the weekly or the 200 simple on a daily, because those levels haven't really been tested yet. So if we break down from this area, I'm looking at this area down here, the 6.5k area, and let's put on the moving averages here, and I'm gonna show you the 200 simple on the weekly here. That's gonna be the last line of defense, right? And if that on hold, we have the 3k area down here. Obviously nobody wants to see Bitcoin at 3k, right? And I'm thinking like this type of reaction, like this type of price action down here could take well, it could take like 6 months. It could take very, very long time, right? So if that's what we are looking at, I mean, if we are moving up here and we, like, if we're gonna see a bearish retest of the 21 EMA on the weekly and or the 200 simple on a daily, I mean, and losing the RLC here, I wouldn't be very bullish on Bitcoin going forward, right? But on like the super long term, I'm talking like 10-20 years, I think this is such a revolutionary technology that in one form or another, it really has the possibility to take over the world and the financial markets, and like this is the future, right? This is the financial revolution. But like, unless we don't just all get killed by the coronavirus, that's a possibility. I mean, fuck man, we had our first death here in Sweden, and the government is really starting to put in some serious measurements to contain the disease or the virus, the spread. But it's like the Swedish government isn't really famous for doing anything properly. It's I'm not gonna go into politics, but we live in a country where the government don't really give a fuck about the people living here. So I wouldn't be very surprised if they do some really stupid shit to actually make the situation worse. It wouldn't be the first time. All right. So I don't think I don't have a lot more to say on Bitcoin. So I would really like for you guys to, maybe you can ask me some questions for maybe some altcoin shorts or whatever, or anything. If you have any thoughts on anything, or well, obviously market and trading related. Let's see. We are getting some news from America today, I think. So in Sweden, we just had our first death, right? And I think they decided to close schools in America, and they're starting to really take it seriously. I think Trump talked a couple of weeks ago about this not being a such a big deal, and that the stock market is stronger than ever, and it's going to remain strong, right? But we're not really seeing a strong financial like traditional market right now. And if America really goes deep into this whole corona crisis, and imagine if New York gets infected, right? Imagine if like the Wall Street, it gets into Wall Street, maybe Wall Street shuts down, and like this could be really, really, really bad, right? And if Italy is an example of what's to come, this is going to be really bad. So the question on my mind, and the question on pretty much everybody's mind right now in crypto is, will Bitcoin survive the coronavirus? Guys, I don't know, man. Like, a lot of people are talking like, it's weird because people are talking about Bitcoin being a hedge against the traditional markets. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a short hedge, I think a drop of almost 30% is pretty good, right? If you're looking to lose money, you should probably bet all your money on Bitcoin, right? Because if the financial markets crash, Bitcoin will probably follow. Like, I don't know, maybe in like 10 years, if we get like a third after this one, if we get like a recession right now, I don't think Bitcoin will survive. Well, no, it will survive obviously, but it's probably not gonna act as a hedge. I don't think it will. But in maybe 10 20 like 10 20 years, if Bitcoin is still around and we get another recession, that might be it. Yeah, exactly, George. I think that too. Like this, because last time we had a recession was in 2018. No, fuck, 2008, right? And the Bitcoin was created in 2008. So the reason for Bitcoin to exist is the last recession. So the whole point with Bitcoin was to protect people from the foolishness and quite frankly the evil shit that the global financial elite is doing to this world, right? So Bitcoin was supposed to be a hedge against those psychopathic fuckers that are pretty much destroying the world, right? So is Bitcoin going to act as a weapon against that world and that type of world we're living in? Like, is Bitcoin gonna be an alternative to fiat? Well, I think it has a possibility. It really does, but I think it has to gain even more traction than it has today before we can really before people will like. I want to see a situation where I go to work and like my coworker tells me like, oh shit guys, the stock market is collapsing, the financial system is all rigged, and the housing market is just fucked, and I have to sell my house, I have to quit my job, everything like that. So and then he tells me like, but I got a lot of Bitcoin. So when normal people start to look for Bitcoin instead of stocks and like commodities, that's going to be like the interesting times. Right now, a lot of people don't even know what the fuck Bitcoin is. Cryptocurrencies is like magic to a lot of people. So like, I don't know, guys. Is this the time for Bitcoin to take over the world and save us from the virus? Probably not, guys. Like, probably not. It's not. I mean, this chart is on the long term. I mean, I don't know, man. If we lose this area, I think it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But if we, for some miracle, bounce in the RLC, close a weekly above the 21 EMA, maybe, retests it for a move higher, we break this high right here, that's gonna be the real bull run. When we break this area, that's gonna be the money, right? And if that happens when the rest of the world is fucking collapsing, right? I think that's gonna be the signal that the filthy rich financial banksters are moving into Bitcoin, because that's the only thing that's left, right? that's the only logical thing to do. I don't think we're at that point right now, but yeah, I mean, I can't really comment on why we're dumping. I think, like, I want to say that it's it has some to do with technicals. It has some to do with financial, like fundamentals, right? It has a lot to do with just people's emotion. But you gotta understand, right? The coronavirus started spreading. I think in December. I think we first had the report of the coronavirus in December. December is back down here, which ironically enough was right before the pump. But the thing is, it didn't really gain traction, and people like media didn't really. I think I'm like, don't quote me on this, right? But I don't think media got all hysterical like until this area up here. So I think we saw an area where inverted head and shoulders. Like, you know what? I'm probably not gonna comment on that because I very rarely trade head and shoulders. So if I do comment on that, I'm probably just gonna give you a idea that's not correct, and like there's I don't think, like, I don't use that in my analysis, and to be honest, I don't think like it doesn't really work well for me, and I kind of suck at it. So I'm just gonna save you some money. But all I'm seeing right now, and that's everything I'm interested in really, is yeah, I've heard a lot about the plus token. To be honest, I haven't really dived into that stuff because I'm a trader. I'm a short-term trader. I want to get in and out of position quickly. I've noticed that the more fundamental analysis I do, the more money I lose. Reason being is I've noticed that, by trading I've been trading for 3 years now, and I've learned a lot of shit about myself. I've learned a lot of stuff about myself, and like some of that is when I do fundamental analysis, I like, for example, if I do fundamental analysis on a altcoin, and I tend to really tend to like fall in love with the project. Like, because I'm a sucker for sales tactics, right? So I get drawn in. Well, not sales tactics, but like I get drawn in when I read about like a beautiful cryptocurrency, revolutionary technology. I'm gonna go all in, right? I've done that so many times and lost so much money. So, and then I learned about risk management and proper trading. So I'm trying to not do as much fundamental analysis at all, and that's the reason for me not really diving into the whole plus token rumor. Because if you like look at the chart, right? So well. If plus token like dumped on the market with they had like a huge amount of Bitcoin, like an enormous amount of Bitcoin. So if they dumped on the market, obviously that might affect the price, and especially when you have technicals lining up with the dump. I mean, we did test a pretty. I'll show you. Look at this, right? This is the RLC right here, and obviously we tested RLC and traded upwards. Let's see what happens if we reverse the RLC. So what happened was we bounced off the long RLC and we got reacted by the short RLC, and as you can see, this area right here is a very important area for Bitcoin, right? So it was expected that we were going to use this area as resistance, right? And we really had to yeah, exactly, Napu. Plus token definitely accelerated the dump. So we had a lot of things lining up with TA of this being resistance, and price got reacted by resistance and started dumping, and plus token, released all the tokens on the market, and then we had Corona affecting the financial markets. There's just so much stuff that that's insane. That's 240 million in Bitcoins. That's, well, I wish I wish I had an ICO or some shit like that. Man, imagine getting that kind of money from, well, it's a scam. So obviously I don't want to scam people. That's not my thing. But but did they have 240 million Bitcoins? No, fuck, man, that's stupid. So there's only 21. God damn it, that's embarrassing. I should get some sleep. So what I'm saying is, like, this dump was really, there's a lot of shit that really accelerated this dump down. And now that we're in the RLC here, for me, it's kind of like make it or break it. If this is the time for Bitcoin to shine, right? So if Bitcoin is going to be a hedge against the traditional markets crashing, this is when we need to see a bounce and continuation, because this is where people should be buying, right? If Bitcoin is a hedge, this is where people should be buying, right? If this is going to be like the safe haven coin or whatever, this is where people should buy. So yeah, nonetheless, it's a crazy amount of money and a crazy amount of Bitcoins. All right, so let's I think I said enough about Bitcoin. Let's do a quick summary here. So basically, it's very simple. Let's look at the weekly here. It's very simple. We got reacted by the 55 EMA on the weekly. I mean, we haven't even tested the 21 EMA on the weekly or the 200 simple on the daily, right? So what we need to do is we need to bounce out of this RLC area if we are going to see continuation, right? But we got a lot of resistance up ahead. So I think yeah, I saw that deleted message. Yeah, it's probably not 120 million Bitcoins either. So on the weekly, we actually have the 3 switch. No, that's the 99, I think. Yeah, that's the 100 moving average is right down here. So, and that's confluent with, well, that's nice. That's nice. So this blue line here is the 100 EMA, and it's confluent with 7,400 area. Actually, I haven't noticed this yet. That's pretty weird. So it's confluent with the, I might be seeing a trade here. So let's see on the 1 hour here, where that's a 3% move. So the next trade I would be looking at is probably something like if we lose this area, we are most probably going to see a bounce in this area, right? Because where is that area? It's right here, and actually, yeah, so around 7,400, where the 100 EMA is, we are probably going to see a bounce, because notice how this is a strong horizontal support and resistance area, right? And this is the area where price, when we broke this area, that started the run to 10k, right? So I think I'm gonna be watching that area confluent with the lower part of the RLC. So 7.4, we will most probably see a, let's say 7.3 to 7.4. So yeah, we're probably gonna see a small bounce here, at least a reaction to this area right here, most probably. You know what, let's remove this one. I think that's better. I want to have a level right here. Let's see if that lines up. Oh man, so that lines up perfectly with this area right here. So I'm really liking the, so Po is writing something in Nesk, so get that's so Plus Token had 180,000 Bitcoin and 6,400,000 Ether. That's fucking insane. Yeah, there's definitely a amount of Bitcoin that could definitely affect the market in a real bad way, right? A real fucking bad way. And obviously it has, because like when I saw that people first started talking about Plus Token, I'm like, well, you know, it's probably 20,000 Bitcoins, of which one looks. Yeah, I'm reading in the Nest Club chat here. Yeah, it's insane. So when I first heard people started talking about, started whining about Plus Token, shit like that, the first reaction was, because remember, I'm not a fundamental analysis guy, so I don't really care about that shit, to be honest, but like, what I first thought when people started talking about it, I'm like, well, you're just whining because you lost a lot of money and you want to blame it on, Chinese scammers. But then I read about the actual amount, and it could very well have accelerated this dump, but we're also seeing it line up with TA. So it's not only about, they fucking up the evil market makers or whatever, fucking up like it's not about them like, fucking everything up, right? It's sometimes it's just about TA, but on this particular situation, it has a lot to do with it, I think. All right, so let's see. So like questions of like specifics way to trade, I wanna, like, in the Nest Club we have the private mentorship membership, right? So I feel like if I give you guys too much, that wouldn't really be fair to my private students, because I'm making these kinds of videos for those guys too, where I kind of dive deep into my own style of trading, and like my trading style, my setups and everything like that. So like I can't really go into great detail and explain to you guys, because I feel like I'm robbing, like they're paying a lot of money to have me teach them this stuff, and it's kind of not, it doesn't really feel right to give it away for free right now on a public stream. We might do that kind of stuff maybe once a week or something like that on weekends in the Nest Club, but that's gonna be like an unlisted private video for only exclusive burbs. But right now I gotta take care of my students first and foremost. So I hope you guys understand that, and but I will show you how I would trade this if it were bullish. So as a trader, you have to make a plan, right? And right now, I'm seeing two potential scenarios. I'm not very interested in shorting in this area because why am I not interested in shorting? Well, we are at high time frame support, right? There's a lot of lines here, a lot of lines. I should probably delete some and make them boxes instead. Let's see. Let's make a smaller box here instead. So I'm seeing that area here with this level. Yeah, that's a decent area. Yeah, and it's also confident with the midpoint of the RLC, so that's good. So what I'm watching here, right, we are inside the RLC. So I'm not really interested in shorting the RLC because the RLC has a, historically had some really good results when looking for longs, right? Because it's called the long RLC for a reason, right? So shorting here would definitely be trading with the trend, right? So in that, from that perspective, from a trend trading perspective, it's definitely a good idea to go short. But the fact that we are inside the RLC makes me think that if we are going to get a bounce, we are most likely going to get the bounce inside the RLC. So if I were to short this, I would have, it would probably just be a scalp down to 7.4 or 7.3 region, this area right here. And if we break that area to the downside, that's when I'm going to look for. So if we break 7.3.7.4K area, this one to the downside, that's when I'm going to start looking for shorts. Probably down to around, this area down here, with the midpoint being 6.5. But if this thing is bullish, how do you trade this if it's bullish? Because we are in a downtrend. So you can't just long the RLC when you're in this clear heavy downtrend. So what you want to do is you want to, let's add that one again. I really want to have the 8K level marked out. So what you want to do is you want to wait for bullish market structure before longing. And I would like to see bullish market structure in the 4 hour before longing. And like I said before, if we, look at this. We had, downtrend here, but we had a low here, a high here, a low, higher low here. And if we were to, if this move would have broken 8K and made another higher high here, and then we would probably get a maybe bounce here for a bounce here for a higher high. That's my entry signal, right? Because we then have this type of movement, right? Downtrend, trend pauses, and we have a potential break in market structure, get rejected, bounce down here for a higher low, move up again, and that's going to be, this is going to be a strong indication of a bullish break in market structure, right? So when we trade back here, that's when I want to go long, right? So what I would say is wait for price to bounce and trade out of the RLC and be patient. Wait for daily candles, daily open and closes, or just daily closes. Preferably for me, I want to wait for a daily open and close above the RLC before I long anything. And actually, like I said, I want to short if we break the RLC. Like we are in downtrend. Like as you guys can see, I haven't done a proper plan for the short. I have a very specific plan for when to long and how that setup would look like. I'm not going to share it right now because I'm going to share it in the nest if it actually happens that we get a bounce here. But for the short term, I don't really have a specific plan, to be honest. That's not good. I should have a plan. But there's just so much support down here. We get a trend with, you gotta trade with the trend, right? So you could use this midpoint of the RLC as an entry, right? But I'm not really seeing an obvious stop loss level here. And when you don't have an obvious stop loss level, that's like you can't really enter anything if you don't have a like if you haven't decided where your invalidation level is, you can't really enter a trade, because that's the most important part of trading. You gotta know when you are wrong, right? Because if you don't know when you are wrong, you're gonna get fucked, right? Because if you don't have a stop loss and you don't have an idea of where you're wrong, you're just gonna watch price go against you, and you don't have a plan, you don't know where to exit. So that's the first thing I look for in a trade. Where is the idea invalidated? So you know what? This is looking pretty interesting. Like I'm more used to longing. I'm more used to going long. It just feels more natural to me. So what I like to do at times is I want to invert the short, and I want to tell myself, like, I want to find a good long setup. And if I have a good long setup and I go back and invert the short back again, and that's like, for me it's easier to find long setups. So I'm just gonna invert the short. It might sound weird, but it works pretty good. So let's go. BTC on the weekly inverted. This is yeah, guys, this is looking very bullish. This is looking pretty fucking bullish, which is a really bad thing, I guess. So this green box here is resistance, right? So what do you want to do? Well, you want to wait for a break and long the retest. The problem is that you have this level here too, right? And that's going to act as strong resistance. But if we break the RLC, I anticipate a move down to 7.4, 7.3. That looks very likely, confluent with the 100 EMA, right? So I'm gonna do it. I have to, like, I need to take this trade because I feel like it's just staring me right in the face. I just haven't really gotten the details correct yet. So let's say we layer some bids in this area right here for an average entry of this. That's a 5% move. Let's see, where would... Yeah, so we don't want price to trade back inside the range again. We could use... Let's see, we could use that area. It all depends on how price action looks when we actually break this one. So let's see, do we have a clear invalidation level? Like, not really. I mean, the invalidation level for me would be this low here, which is probably a Williams fractal 2. Yeah, this is green obviously because it's inverted, right? But this one is the obvious invalidation level. But I'm looking for more like a scalp, so that's not really gonna work. Usually when it takes this long to find a clear invalidation level, I'm probably not gonna take the trade, but I'm just giving you guys an idea here. So we're gonna go short, yes. Let's say we layer some bids in this area. Right, first entry at 7,640 or something like that, and the last entry is going to be right at previous range low for an average entry of here. Where would the stop be? Let's say so let's say price comes down and tests range EQ, breaks out of range high or range low, comes down and retest this area and comes up. So that's what I'm seeing, right? This is the type of setup I want to take. So where should the stop loss be? So first of all, my trades needs to be at least 2R. So that's putting us at that level, dangerously close to the range EQ. I'm looking at this area, right? Let's remove the moving averages. I'm looking at this area. I'm kind of liking that area because if we break out of here, we should bounce here, and we shouldn't really trade down into range again. So I think this is a decent trade, a decent idea. We want to take profits at 100 EMA. I like that. So now let's revert the chart, and this is how our setup looks. You know what? Now when I'm looking at this, why wouldn't I just want to short the retest of range EQ? Fuck me. When I get into this kind of I like discussions with myself, yeah. So if I had the time, if I had the time to actually actively monitor the charts here, I would probably go down to like the 15 minute and wait for this type of reaction, right? And when like I want to see price come up, close like a 50 minute above, trade down, I would then short the bearish retest. So break above, come down again, short a potential bearish retest for a move down to range low with a stop maybe like above where it like the swing high here or this one, and yeah, but I don't really have the time to sit and watch the lower time frames too much. That's way too time consuming. But if you have the time to do that kind of stuff, that would be a very good way to wait for confirmation of an actual bounce, right? Instead of just putting some orders right here and hoping for the best. If you have the time, just watch the lower time frames and actually wait for a bounce, right? So as you guys can see, I'm not sure what to do. But I'm giving you a couple of alternatives at least. So the safer options is this one. The riskier option is this. But a way better risk to reward. And the reason for that is you could take partial profits down here. Then you move your stop to entry in case we just go down to range low again, or range EQ, right? You get stopped out in profit for a 2.76 trade. Very good, right? You then take some more profits down here and you move your stop to around 7,775. And when this one breaks, you take profits here and here with a trailing stop. The more I look at it, I'm liking this one. Let's take a quick look at ETH-BTC and the other majors and see what they are doing, right? So Ethereum BTC, we broke above this area here. Is it looking bad? Yeah. Is it looking very bad? Very bad. I'm looking for a move down to the 21 EMA on the weekly, at least. If we lose that one, we'll see a move down to the RLC. So if we move down here, you could long this area for a small bounce. Gotta be quick with your stop loss though and move it into profit, because we are probably just gonna get a small relief bounce down here. Let's see, XRP BTC. Well, this looks like bad soup. Not good at all. Not good at all. This area really needs to hold. I mean, if we're long-term bearish, bullish on XRP, this could be a good area to accumulate with a, let's see, with a stop loss down into that area. Actually, this is pretty good, actually. It's a 10% stop loss from current prices, so you could start to accumulate in this area for a move up here, right? So even a move up here would be like over 2 hours. So yeah, definitely a good area to accumulate XRP if you're bullish on the long term. This is a good deal, I think, on XRP. It's a good area to accumulate, like I said. ADA BTC. Well, look at this. What a nice fucking setup. Luckily, I did not take this setup. Is this the RLC? Looks like we might be at the 50% area. No, we're actually right down into the RLC. That's very interesting. And did we tap the RLC? Almost. We lost the 200 simple on the daily. So what I'm looking for here is a bounce down here and a reclaim of the 200 simple here. So something like this. The best case scenario, I would like to see this type of move, right? A W on the daily, a breakout, long the retest for a move higher. Which other ones do we have? Ethereum, let's look at EOS, BTC. It's right now, looks like it's, is it in the ROC? Could very well be. Yeah. So it's touching the RLC too. Got a lot of coins inside the RLC, and we got Bitcoin in the RLC. So like I'm not ready to be like a full term, like a full blown all in bear at this moment, because this is a good area to buy. I'm not saying you should buy. I'm not buying, so I'm not giving you any stupid advice or anything like that. You shouldn't buy here. Well, you should if you want to. I don't want to buy here. I'm not a buyer. I won't trade altcoins for a while probably if I don't see like a super massive obvious setup. And on this one, I'd like to see a something like this, like with the other one. EOS, ADA, BTC, Ethereum. Which other ones do we have? XMR, BTC. Monero. Also in the RLC with the 200 simple confluent with that area. So I would like to see a bounce here, and if we get a move like this, that would be awesome. I would like to buy a retest of that resistance. Hopefully turns into support. Stellar. Well, we lost RLC. Yeah, not looking good. Not really interested in this one at this moment. Do we have anything else to look at? What do we have to look at? We have... what do we have? Let's go through the green list. Let's see if we find anything interesting in the green list. Here's the green list. BNB. Another failed setup. BB on weekly, still in the RLC of this latest move here. Yeah, not looking very good. Need to see some strength here. FET. Yeah, not good. FTM. No, not good. Reaction here. IOTA. No. Well, maybe 4 hour. I think it needs to reclaim this area up here. Let's turn it into a resistance area. Yeah, it needs to reclaim that area before I can trade this. This one, not interested. TRX is at an interesting area here, but it's a second retest on the daily. It's below the 200 simple, so I would like to see at least the 200 simple get reclaimed. But right now I think I would trade a break and retest of that area above. Where do we have, which one is next? Waves. Well, Waves is looking very good. Yeah. Very nice indeed. What do you want to see on this one? Well, I want to see a... Did we get a retest of this area? Right, alright, so we never really get a retest of this area. If we get reacted here and we come down and trade down here, we might, like, I might long this area. Because that's the... Let's see. Yeah, that's the 200 EMA on the daily, so that's an interesting area to long if we come down and trade down there. It's probably the RLC of this move too. Well, no, not really. The RLC is above where the 21 EMA on the daily is, so we actually did get a bounce with RLC already, so I'm not sure about that one. LRC looking good. If we're going to see continuation, we are most likely going to see a bounce here from move like this. Band BTC. Wow. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm liking this area right here, the 21 EMA on the 4 hour, not the 4 hour. I would like the daily. Well, yeah, this is heavy. This is a pretty crazy move. This area looks pretty good. This one right here for a potential bounce. So could probably enter here. I won't probably, but It's looking interesting. Algo. Well, algo is looking good. We had the 200 simple right in the middle of the RLC, so it's that's a decent area for a long, definitely. But this is the second retest on the daily, so I'm not sure. I want to see a bounce and trade out of the RLC. Preferably, I want to see a move above this area. That's when I want to get long, right? So, like I said before, I want to buy strength. I don't want to buy weakness right now. I'm seeing weakness. We are inside RLC, so that's like a good thing, right? But I want to see a bounce out of the RLC and then start trading and following hopefully following the continuation upwards that we got from bouncing after RLC. All right, guys. So I think I'm done. If you guys have any questions or anything, hit me up in the Nest Club chat, and I will happily answer any questions that you have. And thanks for joining, and thanks for being active in the chat. I really appreciate you guys being here. It's I mean, trading is very. This might sound weird. I mean, it's lonely, right? I'm sitting here. I got my charts, right, and I got my tools, and I got my strategies, and I have you guys in the Nest Club. So that's yeah. Thanks for being here, and thanks for joining tonight. It's making stuff much more fun. All right, so have a great day or night or whatever, and stay safe. Wash your fucking hands. Don't get corona, and you know what? Stay inside. Don't go out at all. Order your food. Pay with Bitcoin, and let's make some money before this world is destroyed by some Chinese virus. Take care, everyone, and see you guys next time.